Welcome back. This video will be for the discussion of lettering for sketching. All the lettering we do for INDR B12 is done in all capital letters. But I want to show you that we can use different fonts. So for this little video, I'd like you to do this as an activity. If you just get out a piece of blank paper, I 3-hole punched it. If it does not 3-hole punch, that's okay. But I want you to notice that I've got this in the portrait orientation. This is portrait. If I rotate this and the holes are on the top, we would call that a landscape. But in a portrait orientation, what I'd like you to do is I'd first like you to print your name, just with upper and lower case. So I'm going to print my first and last name, including a middle initial. Okay. Below that, you can zoom in on this a little bit. Below that, I would like you to print your name using all caps, the best you can. The exact same name that you had printed before, print it in all caps. Those are two different fonts. And finally, below that, I'd like you to sign your name like you normally do. So those are 3 different kinds of fonts used in different types of lettering practice. For us, the sketching or the lettering we're going to use for sketching is going to be called an architectural font. Architectural. Now, what I want you to know here and what I want you to do is when you are providing a sketch for a client or in your job or in the business somehow, your lettering is going to have your own unique style. For sketching in this class, I want you to use what we call an architectural font. And I'm going to demonstrate how that works. I'm going to draw some lines lightly here as guidelines to show how I could follow lines to draw lettering. I'm going to pause this video for a minute and set that up. Now, using a straight edge, I drew some light guidelines so that I can use those to draw some letters. Now, it's insignificant, the spacing, but it's about maybe 1/2 of an inch tall, maybe 1/4 of an inch between. But the idea of this is it's going to allow me to draw large letters. So I'm again going to draw my name. Now, I'm using what's called an architectural font. Now I have a little bit of my own style with this, but I'm going to show you why or how this lettering works. So there are my name, first, last, with a middle initial. But what I want to show you is that for the architectural font, the trick of the trade is that every time you draw a vertical line, those lines are perfectly vertical. As a matter of fact, when I first learned how to do this, I would draw those lines with a straight edge. So I'm going to take my red pen and I'm going to lay out and show that how straight those vertical lines should be. So the lines for the H, the lines for the E, the I, the straight edge for the P. Now, the horizontal lines are not truly horizontal. They run at about a 15-degree angle above horizontal. So the way that looks is that if I draw a line here, do you see how those lines follow the A, the H, the E? Even the top of the P and the bottom of the P have basically, even the top of the S, a little bit of that 15-degree angle. Okay, and that is the trick of the trade. Now, we use these letters in our text or our word type, and here is an example of some of those texts in Word. Let me zoom in here a little bit, get this in view. There you go. So here are some different versions of an architectural font. What I want you to notice is that this one on the bottom is actually an italicized version, and I don't want you to do that. I want you to make the verticals as perfectly vertical as you can and the horizontals at an angle, and you can see how those look. So then the letters of the alphabet look like this. I'm going to zoom in or slide this up a little bit. The letter A, the letter B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Some people will draw the M with the lines going all the way down to the bottom, but this is not the case. N, O is drawn with two curves. P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And I like to put a little line right there on the Z, and that just keeps it from looking like the number 2. These are the letters I want you to use for all of the lettering we do now, from now on, whenever you turn in a sketch. So any drawing you do or any sketch you do for me is going to have an architectural font lettering. Save this piece of paper. We're going to draw a border around that a little bit later.